Okay, that brings us to item L, discussion on local school board academies. Did you want to preface this, Mrs. Zardi? You've given me the unenviable task of asking the board to consider more meetings.
It was your idea, Mr. McClellan.
Well, I want to, and rather than call it discussion on more meetings, we decided to call it local school board academies.
Or some.
We need to go back to when you're done with this one.
Oh.
Back to the, we had talked about at Finance Committee setting up a board retreat at some point in time.
Well, that will sort of fit into this, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about it within this context. At the risk of some mutiny here, in setting the agenda for this meeting, issues come up, and I don't know that it originated with me, but it came organically out of a conversation with Mrs. Zardi as we were setting the agenda. And I guess my feeling is, and I'll let Mrs. Zardi address it if she'd likes to, that the educational landscape is changing very quickly, very dramatically in all kinds of different directions. The financing is, as Mr. Gorder just pointed out, we have some real challenges ahead of us. Vouchers, open enrollment, all of these things, technology are coming at us very quickly. And my sense is, as these changes unfold over the next couple of years, there's going to be winners and losers, and I, for one, want the Tacoma School District to be a winner. And I think it's going to require some forward thinking. And we come to these meetings, and here it is, 10 o'clock, and when I look out, and even earlier, an hour ago, I saw people yawning. I mean, these get long. There's a lot of nuts and bolts decisions to be made, but it's very difficult to have some really in-depth, forward-thinking conversations about where we want to be next year, how we're going to deal with some of these issues. And so, with that said, it led into this thought of having an extra meeting every month, which we would consider sort of an academy. We would pick a subject that's going to be very important, and it would give us an opportunity outside the pressing weight and time constraints of these meetings to think forward, think out of the box, be prepared for some of these changes. I know we discussed in the Finance Committee meeting before this, the next couple of years could really be exciting, to put a positive spin on it. And I'd rather be prepared for some of these things by thinking ahead and having people discuss them rather than just react to them. So that's the idea behind it. Doesn't have to be every month, but I'm sure we could easily do one every month. And Mr. Gorder just talked about having one for the finance side of things, and that would be an example. But we have them Common Core, standards, assessments, teacher evaluations. I mean, the whole landscape, we're just right in the thick of all kinds of big changes, and I think we need a little more in-depth discussion rather than just coming to these meetings and approving a program with 30 seconds discussion. So I would welcome people's thoughts on that.
I was recently at the CISA meeting where I was the delegate, and they gave me 9 different areas that we should be on our radar screen. A lot of what you just said. We've been working on the employee handbooks, compensation models, deeper understanding of Common Core standards, WISE-Dash, education accountability testing, teacher and principal effectiveness, reports, school report cards, district report cards, kindergarten screening, the PALs. If we're going to be on top of it, I think we almost need an extra informational meeting a month that we schedule in order to have an understanding of the issues that are coming before us to make good decisions.
I think it's just a natural evolution of starting with our board retreats. That was kind of the impetus for those. We wanted more information on things, and just a total, I do think it's the route we have to go. to really be informed. It's just really difficult to get that information on your own without help from the administration, but also just time to discuss and really see what is out there that we're really looking at.
And some school districts have 2 board meetings a month, and this one could be more informational, not set up like this one.
And I don't know, there's maybe opportunity to combine it. You know, we do have some committee meetings that meet earlier. Maybe we combine it on those nights at times. You know, that's still up to whatever you want to schedule. But there are some opportunities there for at least some people not to duplicate a night. You know, it's a longer night, but maybe not an extra night as much.
I just think there's a great need. The time in which we are currently living, with all the changes taking place, that in order for you to make informed decisions, we need to get more information to you and you have an opportunity to ask questions and us bring in individuals who can answer some of those questions as well as just put together information for you. I think this lends itself also to the idea of Mrs. Mosley, you mentioned the game playing on the business, teaching people how that works, and we could be bringing community people in. You know, we could have a meeting where we ask some of our local leaders to come in and participate in that with us, and have opportunities to engage community members as well. So, I mean, there's no lack of activity that could happen, but I think I would ask that we really do our best to keep it to an hour and a half maximum. That you look at, this is the time, and we honor that so that we're not overwhelming people with long meetings.
And my suggestion is we just pick a time the same day or time each month, like we have the board meeting the 3rd Monday each month. I think we should pick a time and just do it, because it sounds like we have enough topics to learn about and to discuss that. It's always easier to cancel than it is to schedule. Yeah.
Yes. And certainly, you know, if you can't make one,
Right.
the information would be available.
For the new board members, how do you feel about adding another meeting to the
I don't have an issue with it.
list?
No. Should I throw out a suggestion?
Sure.
I was going to suggest the first Tuesday night, but that's policy. So how about the 4th Tuesday night? So that would be a week after this meeting.
Or do we keep it to Mondays? 4th Monday?
I wouldn't be able to make it.
Oh, you have something every 4th Monday?
Ambulance Commission, Senior and
Okay.
Disabled Services.
Well, I'm just
Or-
asking. I'm just
or-
trying to keep it consistent with when the board
Yeah.
meetings are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree with keeping it confined to the hour and a half. And if that's going to be the case, then I don't think we should be mixing this agenda with that, or we just would never
Right.
honor the spirit of the academy.
I'm thinking we want to avoid Wednesday nights because it's church night.
Other Mondays are not good either. All your other Mondays are full.
The first Monday is still open, but that's about it.
So it would be the 1st and 3rd Mondays of the month. That could be a possibility.
First and what?
1st and 3rd. The 3rd Monday of the month is our regular board meeting, and the 1st Monday could be the academy.
Well, this was on for just discussion, I guess, unless, I don't know that we want to just wait and talk about it again. It sounds, I don't know if we really need formal approval of it as much as just sort of an understanding, see if there are any objections, and then figure out the date that would be most convenient.
Yeah, like in May, the first Tuesday was the 1st, so the first Monday was the 7th, which meant that was the second Tuesday week, so that meant the committee of the whole was that first Monday because it was the second Tuesday. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Cindy, when's the July meeting? 16th?
16th, yes.
So if you went to the 16th and made a common spread from that, the second would be the first Monday, or you could go down to the 30th and split it that way. That's what I'd like to see, is a split. You know, maybe 2 weeks. You know, the 2nd and the 16th would work for me, or the 16th and the 30th.
You may have to look at the whole calendar year, and
Yeah.
there may be a few Mondays that you'd have to change and
Just,
adjust.
you know,
Yeah,
some kind of a
the first
split
Monday
there.
probably would work.
And
I think
again,
there was only 1 month that was May, that was a problem, and then I missed the school
I could-
academy back.
Myself,
And
I
who,
could handle
everybody
that.
would come,
Some
I mean,
kind of a split.
both you and Mr. Gorder would need to come, or
Depending on the topic.
depending on what the topic
We may
is?
have other administrators here in
Right,
this
okay.
parish. You know.
So it's
Yeah.
not a meeting that you'd always have to come to. I mean, you'd have different people coming in, and
I would certainly be at all of them, but I don't think Mr. Gordon would need to. But he could elect to come if he wanted to.
So should we set it for, you said you like the first Monday, should we just set it?
well, I don't know if, are you wanting this just to be discussion, or do you want us to?
I think while we're discussing it, if we can just sort of arrange something and start it, and, you know, not everyone's going to be able to make all of them, and that's fine, as long as we have some or most, going to some or most, we're going to be discussing these things and coming, you know, that's moving us ahead. I'm not too worried about trying to have every single person at every single meeting.
And
Do you want to
certainly-
shoot for July 1st right away? Or do you want to hold off till August 1st? So if you'd like, I could prepare a tentative schedule. But
Oh, you've got the
If I
annual
could just
meeting
add
in August.
what's that?
We have the annual meeting in August also, so that's an extra meeting on a Monday.
I can't be ready for July 1st,
for doing a budget thing.
but I would like to schedule a special board meeting, whether it's in this topic or some form, to discuss in further detail, not so much our 12-13 budget, but 13-14 and 14-15. You know, there may be some issues that you wanted to discuss at the annual meeting that get placed on the agenda or not get placed on the agenda, so that we have some idea of what we're looking at in the future years.
Well, could that be our first one, the first Monday in August?
When's the annual meeting?
It's the second Monday, what is that, the 9th or?
So you
10th?
need to have that agenda posted. Would you need that posted? Yeah, I mean, if we can get the agenda posted and be fine, yeah, that would work for August. I'd rather wait till August 1st if that's what we're going to do, and then not have any in July and do that, but we
And then
just,
we are going to be talking about changing the date of the annual meeting in the future too.
Potentially.
Potentially.
I don't
So
know
a
if
little
there's a
bit
good
later.
time.
A lot of school districts do it closer to the third Friday or thereafter.
So the first Monday of a month?
Yeah.
Sounds good, starting in August.
Yeah.
Okay?
And we'll begin with some budget
Yes.
information at that meeting, but then I'll draft a schedule too to kind of give you an idea of what.
What time are we having this meeting?
Good question. What would be the
Is
earliest?
there a bad time or something?
I'm just asking, because I'm going to write it down and
Oh. It could it be earlier, like, whatever.
5:30?
Is 6
5:30,
o'clock?
6 o'clock,
6 o'clock, about the best earliest?
6 is better.
Okay,
Is
let's
that
plan
too early,
6 to...
Brian?
No, that's
6 to 7?
6, Kathy?
Sounds good.
As you're doing the schedule, do you want to work up something with the suggested topics?
Yes.
Is that what you were planning?
Yes.
Okay.
And so, Mrs. Deming, I'd appreciate getting from you the listing of topics that they had mentioned at CISA.
Well, do you want to just take this for now?
Sure.
This,
Are these called
It
school
starts on
academies
the
or
bottom
school
of that.
retreats?
Oh, academies.
Academies?
Academy.
Well, we thought that would help it sell a little bit better. But I see you guys saw right through it from the beginning.
call it whatever you want, we know what you're talking
Well,
about.
anything other than another meeting every month was improvement. We'll look forward to the recall petitions. All right. Is there anything else? Mrs. Zardi, do you need anything else
No,
on
I'm
that?
sorry.
All right.
Where the
Okay.
meeting's going to be held.
I think we should have them here, because they will be open meetings, though.
Yeah.
So people could attend if they wish to, so. I mean, we
That's fine.
can have them at the district office, too. So we really won't need the computers set up.
No.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
You're gonna
It's going to go from one extreme to the other extreme. Tell you that,
We
I'm
might
worried
as
if
well
that gets
just-
crowded.
We're worried about
here,
heat
yeah.
in
For
July and August.
consistency,
Yep.
just do them here.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, thanks everyone for the support and enthusiasm.